Dying to Remember. Dying to Remember is a 1993 American made-for-television thriller drama film directed by Arthur Allan Seidelman and starring Melissa Gilbert and Ted Shackelford. Plot: Lynn Matthews Melissa Gilbert is a Manhattan-based successful clothing designer who has recurring nightmares of a woman Cat Green falling down an elevator shaft. She decides to visit Dr. James Portman J. Robinson and undergoes hypnotherapy, during which she learns that the woman falling is Lynn herself in her previous life, pushed down the shaft by a man in San Francisco in 1963. The nightmares cause her to start slacking at work, and her boss Denise Babs Chula forces her to take a 6-week vacation to recover. She decides to take the time off to travel to San Francisco and find out who the lady in her dreams is. She locates the building quickly and the same night learns in her dream that the woman is named Mary Ann. The next day, Lynn visits the archives and finds out that there was one woman named Marian who passed away in 1963. The lady in question was 20 years old at the time, single, and committed suicide. Lynn is confused about her marital status and cause of death because in her dreams she vividly remembers the girl wearing a wedding ring and being pushed by a man. She decides to visit the police, where Inspector Jeff Albert's Scott Plank insists on taking her case. He pulls up old files and notices that the case was handled by his colleague Daniel Corso Christopher Stone. They decide to speak with him about the case, but Corso believes there is no reason to reopen it. Lynn then locates Marian's marriage records, which show that she was married to Mark Gage Ted Shackelford, a prominent real estate developer. She quickly informs Alberts about her discovery, but he grows suspicious of her insistence on finding out the truth, considering that she told them that she was merely doing research for her mother's homecoming class reunion. Corso alerts Gage on Lynn's snooping, and he is clearly concerned. By accident, Lynn bumps into Gage and realizes that she met him days earlier, in New York, when her cab accidentally ran into him. He follows her and retrieves her files that she signed at his office, and then compares her handwriting to a letter written to him. Struck by her similar looks to Marianne, he invites her over for dinner, then catches her going through his stuff in his house. He asks her about her true motives for contacting him, but Lynn quickly leaves. Throughout the process of gathering evidence, Lynn is repeatedly harassed by an unknown person. When someone slashes her tires, she thinks Gage is behind it and tells Alberts about her suspicions. He digs up further information about the case and discovers that Mary Ann was pregnant at the time of her death. When confronting Corso with their gathered information, he admits having withheld information because it would have crushed her religious parents, then allows them to reopen the case. Afterwards, he immediately contacts Gage, telling him they have to kill Lynn like they killed Marianne. Corso leads Lynn to the same elevator shaft he pushed Marianne into and is about to lead her to the same fate when suddenly Gage appears and threatens to kill him. Gage reveals that he indeed was married to Marianne, which caused a scandal with his wealthy family. His family then hired Corso to pay Marianne enough money to leave Gage, but she refused and threatened to go to the police, at which point he killed her. Gage then kept quiet in order to protect his father. A shootout ensues, during which Gage is shot. Lynn fights Corso off, and he eventually falls to his death in the elevator shaft. Cast: Melissa Gilbert as Lynn Matthews, Ted Shackelford as Mark Gage, Scott Plank as Inspector Jeff Alberts, Christopher Stone as Daniel Dan Corso, J. Robinson as Dr. James Portman, Cat Green as Marianne Emerson, Wade Anderson as young Mark Gage, Sandra Nelson as Kelsey Daniels, Babs Chula as Denise Ralston, James Kidney as Desk Sergeant, Peter Williams as New York Cabbie, Alvin Sanders as San Francisco Cabbie, Brian Knox McGugan as young Dan Corso. Reception: Reviewer of Variety wrote, "You would think that past life regression would open up fresh angles for a murder mystery, but routine execution undermines Dying to Remember." a wooden movie with a smart title. In her memoir, Gilbert called the film a stinker.